Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to Hadikatul Mahdi for a special live edition of MTA News. This evening, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, the head of the worldwide Ahmadiyya Muslim community, will inshallah be inspecting and inaugurating the duties for Jalsa Salana UK 2019. As we speak, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih is actually on site right now inspecting the facilities. But let's start today's broadcast by having a look at His Holiness's activities earlier this afternoon when he left Islamabad and travelled to Jamia Ahmadiyya UK. Let's take a look.
ये अकोमोडेशन वहाँ की बाहर की 80 के करीब लोग सो जाएंगे यहाँ वो ऊपर लजना के पास है डॉर्मेट्रीज जिसमें 20
सारे क्लासरूम इस ब्लॉक
के सारे क्लासरूम इस ब्लॉक में
इस फ्लोर पे
सारे क्लासरूम
So that was a look at what happened earlier today, but in earnest, Jalsa Salana preparation started on Friday. Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, after the live Friday sermon, inspected the duties that were taking place at the Bat al-Futuh Mosque in London. And also then on Saturday as well, our team came on site here to Hadikatul Mahdi to have a look at the preparations. So let's take a look at short highlights of these events.
उसके बाद मैं मुख्तसरन सिर्फ ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि अगले जुमे से इंशाअल्लाह ताला जलसा सलाना शुरू हो रहा है यहाँ बरतानिया का उसके हर लिहाज से बरकत होने के लिए दुआ करें अल्लाह ताला हर लिहाज से बरकत फरमाए जिनकी ड्यूटियाँ हैं वो अपनी तमाम तर सलाहियतों के साथ इन ड्यूटियों को सरअंजाम देने की कोशिश करें और दुआ भी करें कि अल्लाह ताला उन्हें तौफीक दे कि सही तौर पे ड्यूटियाँ अदा कर सकें अल्लाह ताला इन्हें बेहतर रंग में हज़रत मसीह मौऊद अलैहिस्सलाम के मेहमानों की खिदमत की तौफीक अता फरमाए.
With those words, Hazur once again welcomed Jalsa season to the United Kingdom. Hundreds of guests are already residing at the Bat al-Futuh Mosque, and their beloved Khalifa graciously toured the facilities following the Friday prayers.
Accommodation.
During the tour, he visited 2 Lajna sections before turning to the various offices on the men's side. Hazur guided the Jalsa teams on how the highest standards of hospitality must be observed. Bat al-Futuh's inspection took place on Friday, but Khuddam al-Ahmadiyya was still preparing throughout the weekend for Hadikatul Mahdi's own inspection on Sunday evening. These volunteers have been briefed with a task of an astonishing scale. Every beam must be built, every screw drilled, every surface wiped. At the roti plant, packaging is organised by hand. This site has been built by volunteers labouring outdoors in a record-breaking heatwave over the last week. Amid the ocean of high-visibility jackets is a special international team of 135 Waqf-e-Arzi volunteers wearing blue jackets. Their members have travelled from Canada, Germany, Mauritius, the USA and around the UK to live and work on site over the last week. For Tariq, a Jordanian based in America, visiting Jalsa for the first time in years, this week of Waqf-e-Arzi has been a life-changing experience.
These kinds of experiences, I've always found them I find a difference in myself afterwards, like after doing some Jamaat work, like when Huzur came to the US last year in November, I believe. Going there, spending 1 week working with them, I feel like a different person when I'm out. It's really a changing experience.
For this fortunate Waqf Arzi team, praying behind Huzur at Islamabad has been the highlight of their week.
Khuddam got to go to Masjid Mubarak and do duty at the gate of at the doors of Huzur Aqdas. So from that moment onwards, to every Khadim that I've spoken, their life has changed tremendously just by being so close to Huzur. One of the Khadim from the US, he's 18 years old, and he was just gobsmacked how fortunate we are here in the UK to see Huzur so closely. And he could not stop smiling after seeing Huzur. And once Huzur left, he started shaking. He was saying that I've never been so close to Huzur.
And so, once again, the stage is set at Hadikatul Mahdi for the Jalsa Salana inspection 2019.
So as you can see, the Jalsa preparations are well underway. But for those of you at home who aren't able to make it onto site, don't worry, because MTA International and Voice of Islam Radio will be broadcasting live from the Jalsa site. And in that regard, I'm joined by two special guests here. First of all, I have Mudabbir Saab from MTA's programming department, and also Safir Zardar Saab joining us from Voice of Islam Radio. Mudabbir Saab, let me just start with you first of all. Can you give us a brief preview of what you're preparing for our viewers at home?
So Ghalib, this year the theme for MTA International is the service to mankind for by the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. So the various projects that the community does throughout the world. Most of our documentaries, most of our material is focused around this topic, but it's not restricted to this. We'll be covering other things as well. In terms of documentaries, we have lots of material that's come from our international studios, from USA, from Africa, of the various projects that the community does throughout the world for the service of mankind. Two very special documentaries we have on the new markaz, on the new headquarters of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. We have a tour of Islamabad that is for those viewers that have not yet been able to come to Islamabad. We have a special documentary on the history of Islamabad that is definitely worth seeing. Keep the viewers glued to their screens. Like you said, our aim usually is to, for those viewers that have not, that could not come to Jalsa, to show them scenes, documentaries, small highlights of Jalsa, so that they feel that they are included here with us throughout these 3 blessed days. But again, the highlight, of course, will be the sermons and the Jalsa proceedings, the sermons of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih. These documentaries, everything we produce, the studio discussions, these are there to mesh together the main Jalsa proceedings, and of course those will be the highlights.
Jazakumullah, and I hope all the viewers will benefit from that. Safir Saab, you're working in the world of radio, so how do you, sum up the whole Jalsa environment within radio and broadcast that to your listeners?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, Ghalib. Voice of Islam radio station is again a blessing of Allah Ta'ala, another means of propagating the true message of Islam. And when Hazur Anwar Eidullah Ta'ala ibn Aziz inaugurated it, he said the purpose of Voice of Islam radio station is also going to be the same, to show people the true message of Islam. So during Jalsa, our programs are obviously created for explaining the proceedings of Jalsa, the speeches, the exhibitions. So we'll have obviously a lot of guests coming as well, external as well as internal. So having them in studio speaking about their experiences of Jalsa. And then especially those people who are either traveling to Jalsa, or they're in their cars, or they cannot watch MTA and see the live pictures themselves, they can listen through Voice of Islam and get the updates and what's going on, inshallah.
And can you just tell our international viewers how they actually listen to the radio? Is there a way online that they can log in?
Yes, of course. The website is www.voiceofislam.co.uk, and then there is also an app which is both available on Android and also on iOS, which can be downloaded, and on DAB, in cars as well, they can listen to it.
Jazakumullah, gentlemen, thank you for your time. So as you've heard, the Jalsa proceedings will be broadcast live on MTA. If you go to www.mta.tv, you can watch live. There'll actually be 4 separate broadcasts happening live from MTA. So we're really trying to cover all aspects of the Jalsa for all different viewers around the world. So we're coming to the end of our news report, but just as we leave you, want to give a quick preview of some of the exhibitions that will be taking part on site over here. Our team went to speak to those who are putting the exhibitions together, and inshallah that will give you a bit of a preview of what to expect. So from all of us here, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
The Archives and Research Center are preparing a historic exhibition including rare documents from the life of Hazrat Muslih Maud radiyallahu anhu. But the highlight will be various items from the time of the promised Messiah alayhi salatu wasalam, some of which he is likely to have held himself.
One of the main things is the original books, covers of the Prophet ﷺ, the first editions that he wrote in his time, and those books that he had gotten translated into English. Another main aspect that everyone should look out for is the letters that were written to the Prophet ﷺ, and the letters that he's read, he's seen, he's touched. And that's one of the main highlights that we'll have this year.
Meanwhile, Al-Hakam newspaper will also have an exhibition and will be launching a special edition on Friday.
We'll have various articles relating to Jalsa Salana. I can't give too much information out, but there'll be some exclusive images as well as research pieces, which our readers, inshallah, will enjoy a lot as well.
The Review of Religions exhibition on the Turin Shroud and ancient manuscripts of the Holy Quran has gone from strength to strength in recent years. This year, they will also have a world-renowned expert in Islamic art presenting at the event.
So Adam Williamson, who is a sculptor and a calligrapher, he will be working on a piece throughout the whole Jalsa throughout the 3 days. He's a world-renowned sculptor, and he's even done works for Prince Charles, for the Queen's Mum, and for the Kew Gardens. And these are just to name a few of the works that he has done.
The Humanity First exhibition will sell items including milkshakes to raise money for a new hospital.
One of the main features which we'll be highlighting to the public that will be attending is our new state-of-the-art hospital which we're trying to build in the Ivory Coast. It's an area where there's a lot of deprivation. There's not any kind of hospital like that around there, and we hope to bring some relief to the people that are there. And we'll have, I think maternity is a big area which the hospital will feature, and people don't have that kind of facility over there.
Meanwhile, the IAAE will present their unique water pump challenge.
This year we have got a water well implemented, which we actually rehabilitated in the villages for the Water for Life Society, and you have also the solar-powered water well system, a demonstration for it, how we install it, what the plumbing goes to it, and also the water distribution side of it. So we can demonstrate that. And the Model Village Committee, they have got a 360 virtual reality demonstration where you can go in and see how it looks like in the villages itself.